What's up and welcome to the DualSense podcast for episode 158. I am one of your co-hosts. My name is Jason, and I am joined, as always, of course, by your other co-host who is calling himself this evening on Podcastle Earned, Not Given. Of course, he also goes by Travis, his given name. Travis, what's good tonight?
Big shout out to Brad Calipari.
Oh yeah, what's he doing? What's the younger one doing?
Oh, he has that tattooed on his chest.
He has shout out or
No,
which
he
part?
has earned not given tattooed on his chest.
I know he doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
His dad's a multi-millionaire, but it was earned, not given.
I swear to God, it's hilarious.
Get out of here.
Yeah,
Why do rich people do that shit?
I don't know. I write it on my chest when I make love to my wife.
In the lipstick?
Yeah. Just like Buffalo Bill.
You're just like, hey, babe, you got to write. Just like Buffalo Bill. It's like, hey, babe, you got to do that thing I like. She gets out the.
Make sure you write it on my chest.
Yeah, pops the lipstick cap off. She rolls out the Midnight Rouge or whatever, and she's like, earned, not
given.
You're like, okay, all right, I'm ready now. Pah!
Yeah, I tuck my sack back.
Put a little rouge on you.
Yeah. You know what?
Everybody just turn this off, but go ahead.
Yeah, that's okay. We were at dinner tonight, and I was all fired up from work today, and there's this guy that was leaving his booth. They were exiting the establishment, and he was doing the thing where they, like first of all, no offense to these guys, but he just looks like he would like put new tires on my car, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I just like that's what he looked like, and it's okay, it's great. Like believe me, I've changed my own brakes before. I get it. Like you get you get dirty. It's how he is.
Yeah,
but anyway,
you look like somebody that would change my brakes. So
thank you. And he just was like like he didn't wash before he came. You know what I mean? And he has on his little hat with a Chevy emblem and a fucking fishing hook. And I'm like, none of that's bothering me. It's just observation. But as he's walking out, he's doing this thing where he's like cleaning his mouth with his tongue. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, the smacking like a dog thing.
Yeah, and I can see his tongue moving around his mouth, and I immediately wanted to hit him in the face. I was like, dude, can you not just do that at the fucking table? Like,
yeah,
I don't know what it is about it that really bothered me. And it's like, to bring it up for the third week in a row, it's like, if aliens are here,
oh yeah,
and that's what they see, like I feel like we should do a better job of presenting ourselves as a species. Like it just seems dirty, I guess is what it bothers me about it. It seems unsanitary.
Oh yeah. No, definitely. I hope that one of the aliens' very first stops was at McDonald's or Walmart. Moreover,
please.
But speaking of aliens and UFOs, what do you think about the theory that they discovered us because of the nuclear test and the Trinity test, the Trinity bomb? What do you think about that theory that they found us because we set that off, and that was like a signal to to the universe that it signaled something somewhere, and they're like, oh shit, there's nuclear shit going on over here. There's life.
Yeah, that whole theory is based around the idea that splitting the atom and then exploding somehow communicates information faster than the speed of light, which we don't think can happen. So that seems unlikely. What I think is
clearly it can, right? It can though, right? I mean,
I don't. You would think. To me, it seems more likely, as a guy who knows nothing about physics, it seems more likely to me that they would have been aware of us for some reason. And then when we set off the nuke, they were like, "Oh,
time to do something about this.
Yeah, we should probably intervene before they kill themselves, or we should." I think maybe that's such a leap in technology to be able to split an atom. That's such a very like. I mean, Jesus, can you imagine trying to explain that to Aristotle or like, or me?
Yeah,
it's just. I think that's far more likely.
Yeah, no, I get that. I'm just feeling it very. The aliens and the UFOs or UAPs, whatever we call them now, they just got me, pretty existential these days. It's, we're desensitized to it, but it fundamentally changes the way that we should and can think about a lot of things in the world. So, physics primarily, potentially religion, history, of course, all that good stuff. So
it'd be a fun time.
Yeah, should be good. But anyway, we are a PlayStation podcast, of course, Travis, and we get together each and every week to discuss all of the news, rumors, new game releases, and much more in the world of PlayStation. We post new episodes every Monday on all of the podcast services around this world that we are no longer alone in. And we also share it to YouTube. If you prefer to listen to podcasts there, which many of you do, it's like we've talked about before, it's becoming perhaps our biggest platform, which is interesting. But we also love it if you could find us on social media and chat some PlayStation with us. We're on Twitter, or I'm sorry, X, whatever you want to call it now. That's our primary. We go by at the DualSense Pod, but we're also on Threads, Instagram, and Facebook. So all of Zuckerberg's shit. And our website is the DualSensePodcast.wordpress.com. So please find us, hit us up, get the shows, listen to them, like them, rate them, subscribe to them, all that great stuff.
Big
Very much
shout out to
appreciate
Zuck
it.
Daddy.
Yeah, Zuck Daddy, baby.
Can you hear the geese, by the way?
No geese. No
Okay.
geese coming through.
They're in my back.
Did you buy some geese?
They're flying around. I can hear them honking back there. It's the last thing I need.
I love this.
I found a
geese
fucking turtle back there last week, and then this
Yeah.
week there was a bunch of rabbits running around. Now I have fucking geese in the backyard.
Hmm.
Did I send you the picture of the deer roaming around?
No, what do you got? You got a zoo back there? Like
Yeah,
you live in a neighborhood. I don't understand what's
I don't
going
know.
on. I mean, I live next to some cropland, and I don't even see all that shit.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's weird. The deer around here are real brave. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, till you show them your safety. Anyway, Travis, let's get into the news here. 7 minutes later, and to be honest with you, it's not a terribly busy week at all. Not a very newsworthy week. You could tell definitely by visiting all the different websites around the sphere here. But let's jump into it. Starting with number one, PlayStation announced a slew of new features and that are coming to the PS5. Excuse me, firmware beta program, and by default to all PS5 users eventually. Headlining the new features are additional accessibility features, including the ability to use a second DualSense for assistance. The update also includes support for Dolby Atmos enabled audio devices, an update to the party UI that lets you invite a player into a closed party without automatically adding them to a group or creating a new group. And you can also now send open or closed party invites to groups rather than individual players at one time. And joining a friend's game session has been made easier as well. The new firmware also expands the supported capacity of expansion SSDs from 4 terabytes to 8 terabytes. Who the fuck needs that much? Other new features include the ability to react to messages with emojis, like
Thank
the
God.
iPhone. Yeah, the ability to search for games in your library, reworked game help UI, and perhaps most importantly, the ability to mute the PS5 startup beep sound. Later in the week, Sony confirmed that all games, well, I should say a Sony sound engineer confirmed that all games with 3D audio will automatically get Dolby Atmos audio support, but noted that for a true bespoke Atmos mix, it would need a formal patch by the developer. So, what do you make of the incoming firmware update?
Can you explain the first one? Why would you want a second DualSense operational for assistance?
I think the way I took it was like if you have somebody like with you that's able bodied and they could like help you with the second DualSense, like does that make sense?
Yeah, the party stuff is really quality of life stuff. But I
Yeah.
do like it. I think that's a solid addition, and especially like I just think the whole group thing's kind of irritating. So to be able to invite out of that and not add people to the group, I think that's a nice little touch.
Mhm.
I also the beep sound I think is hilarious. Like how many people were complaining because they were like waking their wife up, and
Oh yeah.
she's like, "Why the fuck are you on PlayStation?" It's like
Husbands
that's the
everywhere. Stand
only
up.
reason. That's the only reason. Or if their kid is like, is their kid Pavlovian trained that hears the beep sound and just runs out of the bedroom to play
My wife
Fortnite?
is. Yeah, my wife is. Usually it's beep, hey, come in here.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Uh-huh.
I think the Dolby Atmos sound is really cool, which is funny because like as I've gotten older, I appreciate the sound and the sound makes so much more.
Sure.
Not just with video games, but with movies also. And it's like, I remember when my parents got a sound bar, I was like, that's stupid. Why would you get that? And like I totally get it now. Maybe it's like an old thing.
Mhm.
Maybe it's a sign that I'm old now, but I actually enjoy that, especially, now that I have a car with an actual decent system.
Yeah.
Like you hear things in songs you've never heard before that you've heard your whole life. It's like, oh wow, okay. It's like
Yeah.
But the funniest thing to me here, and you touched on it, is the size of the solid state drive.
Mhm.
To be honest with you, like I haven't had a space issue since memory cards on like PS2.
Oh.
Like it's not an issue for me.
Mm.
If I mean I've had to delete games before, like, oh, I gotta delete these three to download Call of Duty or whatever, and it's annoying sometimes because games 200 gigabytes or whatever. All of
Mhm.
that is true. And I've deleted games to re-download Grand Theft Auto 5 before. All of that is true. But in no instance have I ever felt desperation not to delete a game since a memory card.
Sure.
And I don't know if
Yeah.
that's because I guess maybe the game save data is saved in the cloud, so it's not as, you're not losing what you've worked on. Maybe that's 95% of it, but it just doesn't register with me that I'll ever need 4 terabytes, let alone 8. It's hard for me to even understand that when I had a 16
Yeah.
gigabyte memory card, so that's
Yeah.
good for somebody, I guess. It's
Mhm.
just outrageous to me. It's God. I want to meet the person who uses 7.5 gigs. Like I want to see what there is. Like, how do you play all of that?
Also, you're a filthy casual. You keep a handful of games, I would say, on your PS5. Yes or
Yeah.
no?
Well, I'm not
Yeah.
reviewing them either.
Well, true. No, yeah, exactly. That's my point. But still, even with that said, to me, like the sweet spot is like somewhere between like 1.5 to 2 terabytes. I think. Like I have 1.5 terabytes on mine. Well, I have the 600 and something that you actually get out of the base PS5, and then I added 500 gigs to it with
Mhm.
an SSD, and I've had no problems with that. I've never since I've done that, I haven't had to force myself really to delete anything. So I've only really done it because of my own compulsions and obsessive
Mhm.
qualities, and but it would allow me to have Call of Duty downloaded if I want to, keep Red Dead downloaded. I will say though, if you're somebody who wants to have it all, like if you wanted NBA, Call of Duty, GTA, Red Dead, whatever, like that's a shit. Like you couldn't fit that on a PS5 on its own, I don't think, because NBA is like 150. Call of Duty is 120. Red Dead's like 112. It's on like you. I don't think you could do it. You'd get pretty damn close. So I
Mhm.
mean, I understand like having like a couple of terabytes total, but like 4 and 8 terabytes, like the only people doing that are people who like want like their entire libraries downloaded on their PS5 at one time. Like that people that don't want to delete anything ever, in my opinion.
Yeah,
But maybe I'm wrong.
that feels like a OCD issue.
Yeah, like I'm OCD. I'm not that OCD. Like I
Yeah.
can I can delete stuff and re-download.
Yeah. I
But
have 6 games downloaded right now.
I have
I have 6 games, and then I
I
have,
want to
what
say I
is
have
it called?
12.
Share Factory.
Yeah, I want to say I have 11 or 12 games that like games proper. So anyway, as far as the other stuff, the Dolby Atmos, I'm curious. I've never experienced Dolby Atmos. I have no idea how in terms of quality, how much better it is than standard 3D audio. I guess I'm going to find out. But that seems the most interesting thing for me personally from the whole thing. Number two, industry sales analyst Circana released their data for the month of June this week. Overall trends, according to Circana chief Matt Piscatella, are that big new AAA games are driving the market this summer, with momentum continuing to move away from subscriptions and add on content, which is interesting, to full priced premium games. Also, PlayStation is exploding before our very eyes, Travis. To wit, the DualSense Edge was June's and all of 2023's best selling accessory to date in terms of dollar sales. PlayStation 5 was the best selling hardware in both units sold and dollar sales for June, with PlayStation selling its most hardware units since June of 2010. And in fact, PS5 is the best selling piece of hardware for all of 2023 in both units sold and dollar sales as well. The best selling game of the month, regardless of platform, was Diablo 4, followed by Final Fantasy 16 at number 2, a PS5 console exclusive, of course. Other notable PlayStation games on the list were MLB The Show at number 8, Spider Man Miles Morales at number 9, Spider Man at number 10, and God of War Ragnarok at number 18. All right, anything stand out to you?
Yeah, so basically PlayStation had their best, what do you call it, hardware console month since the PS3.
Yeah. Yep,
I mean,
exactly.
that's crazy that it had a bigger month than any PS4 month to me.
Yeah.
I would have expected that like month 1 or 2, but I know the supply wasn't there. But like, I think that's really interesting. This far into the game, what are we 2 years removed from launch? That's pretty cool. Like, I think that's saying something. I do think it's an interesting trend that the AAAs are driving the market this summer. Like you said, moving away from the subscriptions and
Mhm.
add-ons. I wonder if that's. I mean, I know we're calling it a trend in the note, but like, I'm interested to see if it's a blip. Like, I wonder how long it will last. It just seemed like we were moving away from that. We weren't ever going to go
Mm.
back. So to find ourselves back there, I mean, it helps that like Diablo's out. Like look at the triple A's this year. You can kind of see Final Fantasy, right? It makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, none of the 1 and 2 on your best selling list aren't surprising. MLB and Spider Man are always there. Nothing really shocking there for me. I will say at work we got 2 boxes randomly in, and when we opened them up, they were these complete like these really nice boxes that opened, and it's full
Mhm.
of Diablo lore. Like,
Oh, really?
yeah, like books full of art.
Odd.
It has fucking candles in it.
Where you work?
Yeah, I don't know why it came in. And our HR woman,
Okay.
like, they had it setting up on the counter, and I walked over there, and I looked at it, and then she was like, "Somebody cursed us," and I was like, "Is that Diablo 4 lore?" And she's like, "What?" I was like "Let me see it," and I opened it up, I was like, "This is fucking awesome." And I was like, "I don't even play the game, and this is dope." And I was like, it had, like, little figurines in it, and I was like, there's a guy at work that plays it all the time. I was like, "We gotta give it to him, like, give me a reason to give it to him. I'll give it to him right now. Like, he needs this. Like, he's the only one that'll appreciate it." She was like, "I thought it was like a prank." I was like, "No, it's a video game."
Like some type of
Like,
satanic shit.
yeah, I was like, "I want it and don't even play the game." But no, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Like, anyway, yeah, but those games on that list aren't surprising to me at all.
So June 2010, the last, the best hardware month PlayStation had until this past June. That might have had something to do with the fact that Red Dead Redemption came out on May 18th of 2010 on
Oh,
PlayStation 3.
nice.
So I would say that helped move a few PlayStation 3s. Of course,
Yeah,
it
for
also
sure.
came out on Xbox 360, but it definitely helps.
Well, hey,
And
they haven't maybe Xbox hasn't had that big of a month since June
maybe
2010. Who
it
knows?
might true. Yeah, it could very well be.
Yeah, you can
Could
go
very well
listen
be.
to the Xbox One controller podcast.
But as far as the other stuff here, generally speaking, PlayStation exploding, having a huge year. PS5 is just on fire. The DualSense Edge of all things is on fire. Apparently, from
Right.
an accessory standpoint, I never would have imagined that. And it's they're. I mean, there's the only way you can say is they're on fire. Like, we talked about it a little bit last week. We mentioned the 40 million units sold for PS5. I They're definitely on pace to sell more than 100 million PS5s, and I honestly wouldn't be surprised if it gets close to PS4, which is at probably about 120.
Yeah, I just kind of expect that at this point, honestly.
Yeah, it'll definitely get over 100. It'll join the club. Every PlayStation console that Sony has ever made has sold over 100 million, except for PlayStation 3, which sold around 87 million.
What about PSP?
Uh,
Does
no,
that count?
console, not handheld. So
Where else
yeah,
do you
there's a
play it? You play it at
little,
home?
little caveat there. You might play it in the car or on the bus or in
Oh my
the
god.
in the
Well, I
Uber
played
that
the
didn't exist back then.
first of all, we played PlayStation 2 in the car.
Yeah, we did.
We had like the you hooked up the
Uh,
battery thing to the
yeah,
thing.
yeah. I remember playing PlayStation. Had to have been PlayStation 2. Yeah, I remember playing PlayStation 2 in the minivan, sitting outside of a football stadium before a high school football game one year, playing
Classic.
NCAA football. Pretty
Yeah,
sure.
you gotta get hey guys, pregame, bro.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. Like, and it's amazing that you could do that, 20 years ago. But anyway, number 3, an ESRB rating for Helldivers 2 was discovered over the weekend, which typically means that a game is nearing release, usually in the next 2 or 3 months. Fortunately for us, that appears to be exactly the case, as later in the week, insider Tom Henderson reported that a Sony partnership program briefing that was sent out to content creators instructed them to quote unquote mention the game is releasing in October. Of course, October is an absolutely stacked month of releases, including Assassin's Creed Mirage, Alan Wake 2, City Skylines 2, Forza Motorsport, Lords of the Fallen, and Marvel's Spider Man 2. Nevertheless, PlayStation and developer Arrowhead Game Studios appear ready for launch, sometime in October. And I mean, you've only got whatever 4 months left in the year, so you got to go sometime. But what do you think of releasing in October for Helldivers?
Oh, I have no issue with it releasing then. I think some people online were like, "That's a stacked month. Like, why roll it out?" But it's like,
What's it
to
competing with in there,
yeah,
really?
exactly. Like, it's a different game than what we're looking at, really. I mean, it is a
Yeah.
nice month. Like, I'm interested in Assassin's Creed, City Skyline, and Forza are interesting. Can I even play Forza on PlayStation?
No, it's Xbox, but it's
Yeah,
still a big
whatever.
game. Yeah.
Some of the
As
guys that I
much.
watch on YouTube play it, so I'll end up, I'll be privy to it, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Yeah, Spider-Man 2, like that's, if you make an argument about what shouldn't release that month, I'd be
Mhm.
like, I don't know if Assassin's Creed should roll out with Spider-Man. That seems like a bad idea, but
Mhm.
not Helldivers. That's completely different, and I think we're ready for it anyway. It's about time. It's been what, 7 years, so 8 years,
Yeah.
whatever. Like
8 years. Yeah, 8 years. I think it came out in 15, so maybe 16 by
it'll
then.
be dope. We'll have a great time with it. So I mean,
Yeah.
if they get antsy and want to release it next month, I'm cool with that too, guys. Like, just
Yeah.
whatever you need. If you need a couple of play testers, holler at your
I
boys.
I 100%. I listen, my ear is to the ground on this one. I'm 100% reviewing this game. I'll fight somebody at Gaming Nexus to review this game because I wanna do it so bad. I am curious about the release date. I think that like we were mentioning a second ago, it doesn't matter with this game necessarily that you release it in October or not. You just got to put it out there and let it stand on its own. It's really not competing per se from a genre standpoint. I don't think with any of those big heavy hitters that month. But with that said, I'm curious. I said this on Twitter this week. I have a theory, and you know how I am with these. I have a theory that Helldivers 2 is going to release on the PlayStation Plus in some form or fashion. Whether that's, I don't think it's going to be PlayStation Essential. I think it's going to be PlayStation Extra. So middle of the month, you know? I could be wrong about that. I mean, but the big unknown now about Helldivers is what is the monetization scheme? Is it going to be a 30, 40, 50, $60 game or is it going to be free to play? We have no idea. Either way, if it was me, I think it would be kind of brilliant to put it on PlayStation Plus Extra because then that incentivizes people to bump up a tier. If they don't want to, they can buy it a la carte still for whatever the price ends up being, probably $40, maybe more. I don't know, but then it also, it's a big second party, I should say, but from PlayStation Studios, a big release that you can drop onto the service. This strikes me as like a $40 game, but I could be totally wrong about it. The other big thing that we don't know about this game at the moment is, what is the price model? How are they going to monetize it? There's definitely going to be add-on or DLC content, but what about, from the get-go? The base game, is it free to play? Is it paid with, season passes and whatnot and all that type of thing? We have no idea. But I would not be surprised at all if they put this into the PlayStation Plus service. The only thing that I can't remember, I would have to go back and look, is if I know that they've said, they being PlayStation, have said that they are not going to release their single player PlayStation Studios games day one on the PlayStation Plus service, but I don't remember if they've said that about their live service games, if they said that they wouldn't release them on the service either. So I don't know. It's a possibility, but maybe not. Maybe they've put the stop to that already. Who knows? But we'll see. Not much longer now. I'm ready for it.
It seems like a boom or bust gamble to me to make it free to play.
Definitely.
Like
Yeah.
it's free unless you buy all these add-ons. It just seems like a real boom or bust play. I think
Right.
you could buy it a la carte or it's on extra is the play. If
Hmm.
you're gonna put it up for free somewhere, that's the play.
Sure. Number 4, we also have a bunch of news nuggets here, Travis. Feel free to jump in here. First nugget, Final Fantasy 14 Online is getting a new expansion next summer called Dawn Trail. It's coming to both PS4 and PS5 and will be the game's 5th expansion. It features a new world called Tyrol, I guess that's how you say it, new dungeons, new jobs, and a level cap increase to 100, among many other updates. Square Enix is also expanding the free trial on PlayStation 5 to include the Stormblood expansion and a level cap increase to 70. Genshin Impact version 4.0 is launching August 16th, if you're still playing that, which many millions of you are. Website Video Games Chronicle reported that the Nintendo Switch knockoff of The Last of Us, called The Last Hope: Dead Zone Survival, has been delisted from the Nintendo eShop.
Sounds fun.
Yeah. It still looks straight up like it. It's so weird. I mean, not straight up, but it doesn't look anything like it from a graphic fidelity standpoint, but it's a straight up rip.
Are they going to make a show about it and put it on like PBS?
Put it on Pluto.
There you go.
Also, during its recent first quarter earnings call, Electronic Arts says that development on its upcoming college football game is going very well, but that they are still working through the collegiate licensing situation revolving around the name, image, and likeness rules in college athletics. Don't fuck this up for me.
Yeah, like we said before, like in our group chat, cool. They're not in the fucking game.
Yeah, just take it or leave it.
I got the college licensing, I got the stadiums, I got the teams, I got the conferences, I got the bowl games, and I got the playoff. Like, that's all we want. Like, we're going to recruit over that anyway. Nobody's. If you want to monetize it more with add-ons, you could do like as much as I hate to say it, you could just do like a My Team, like they do with Madden.
Yeah.
And you could play with Doug Flutie and whoever else. And if they sign a contract, then yeah, you can add in whoever's hot in college football that year. You know, Bryce Young signs a contract. Cool. We'll make a Bryce Young My Team pack. You could win him, right? We gave him $500,000 like that. That's whatever. It might be cheaper to go that way, but it's like, you know, when they did the lawsuit with the Ed O'Bannon case and they paid out these players based off of their rating on the game, dudes were getting like $600.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that's definitely not worth your time.
I'm telling I'm going to tell you right now what's going to happen. EA, well, there's very good possibility. EA, I'm all for EA upping the pool of money from 10 million to like 15, 20 million. By all means, they make a ton of money on it. Like I said before on the show before, just double it. Say, listen, we're acting in good faith here. We're doubling it to 20 million. That's X amount of dollars for each player. Yada yada yada. You know, like you said, some guys are going to get 600, others are going to get 6,000, whatever. And then you say, take it or leave it, because the truth is they're going to have downloadable rosters probably. So day one, if the guys aren't on there, you're going to probably be able to just download, roster that has those people on there, or people will just edit the roster. If they're really my point is, if people are that diehard about the roster, which many are, if they know that there's going to be a quarterback on the game for Virginia, but he's not in the game, they can just edit the guy and make him play like that person and look like that person. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that huge of a. The other thing, EA's going to be backed in a corner, I think, and then in a way, and then by extension, the players, because we're getting these other alternatives to football, like that Maximum Football game's coming, not going to have real rosters. We have games like Super Mega Baseball, not real rosters, obviously. Well, some players, but like,
they're old dudes, so you can do the same thing.
Yeah, there's a Legend Bowl game that looks like Tecmo Bowl coming out. My point is that I think people don't necessarily care about that part so much as they do the features, the content, the functionality of the game. And then they'll figure
it was cool when I was a kid, but I don't really care anymore.
Yeah, they'll figure the rest out. Like you said, we'll recruit over the motherfuckers after year one anyway.
Yeah, and I mean, there's some of us will just literally like, there's some of us that will, because I might end up doing this. I've done it before. I'll just cut everybody after the first year anyway,
right.
And I'll play with dudes I recruited and walk-ons. I'll figure it out.
Yeah,
it's like, it's just I just don't think it matters that much. I don't know what I don't know if maybe the schools are pushing it. I mean, I could see them doing that, like in a good faith thing towards their student athletes, but at the end of the day, like, I know I've read the EA said they would block, or they would try to block any created rosters you could download. But it's like, yeah, but there's always loopholes, right? If you wanted to make, let's say it's the year 2000 and you wanted to make Michael Vick on Virginia Tech, what if you call him Vickle Mick and make him number 9 instead of number 7? Well, it's not the real roster.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you just make them all the wrong-handed,
Yeah.
Well, he's left-handed. He just happens to have the same name.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I don't know, man. There's all these loopholes. Like, it's just just make the game.
Right.
Who cares?
Yeah, just come on with it. Let's go. July of 2024 at the moment. We'll see if it holds. Next nugget, EA also revealed that they are currently working on a PS4 version of Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Don't know why they're doing that. We're getting ready to leave PS4 behind, guys. But anyway, Alien is the next horror IP coming to multiplayer game Dead by Daylight. A Street Fighter 6 esports tournament was interrupted over the weekend due to the host forgetting to turn off their PC mod for a nude Chun-Li skin, Travis.
That's amazing.
I can't blame him. I mean, she is very attractive, for a video
I
game
think
character.
it's,
Very smart.
yeah, and great advertising for the tournament, 'cause nobody else would have heard about it.
Yeah, exactly. This never would have been talked about if not for guy, having naked Chun-Li. Also, gameplay footage of Harry Potter Quidditch Champions leaked out this week, but has since been removed. People who did have the pleasure of seeing it say it reminds them a lot of Rocket League, which seems pretty smart.
Yeah, that's the way you'd wanna do it. I watched a video of, did you ever play Mario Soccer?
No, I don't think so.
It's
I
got
know what it is.
it's got a lot of Rocket League in it. It's got a
Really?
lot of Rocket
That's
League in it,
true.
yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Also, PS5 console sales have jumped a whopping 75% this week in the United Kingdom following the temporary price cut around the world. The Callisto Protocol developer Striking Distance Studios has been hit with a round of layoffs this week following the game's mediocre sales performance that failed to recoup the project's $162 million budget.
That sucks, but it's a great studio name.
I agree.
I pictured, Steven Seagal as the logo.
That'd be epic. Holy shit. Hardcore third person shooter Remnant 2 has sold 1 million copies in its first week on the market.
Yeah, hard fucking core.
A teaser for a new Lego Harry Potter was spotted on Instagram this week, but quickly deleted after a copyright claim. So it's real. Website Push Square reported that upcoming sci-fi horror game Fort Solis will be split up into 4 one-hour episodes, all packaged as one game, is my understanding. And a move that the developer said was to go after the Netflix binge-watching crowd. And that's interesting. That's an interesting take. Also, that game features gosh damn it, Roger Clark, who played Arthur Morgan, and then Troy Baker, who everyone knows from just about every video game. So those are the two main characters in that game. Watched a trailer this week that PlayStation put out of that. I gotta say, it looks pretty cool. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, Troy Baker played Michael Madsen in Reservoir Dogs.
Mm,
I just, oh god, that's an interesting take on the binge watching thing.
yeah,
But the way you said that, the way you said it,
very
doesn't
condescending.
inspire a lot of faith.
You gotta have faith. No, seriously, it does look cool, but it is a little off-putting to hear Arthur Morgan as not Arthur Morgan being another video game character. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, we'll see. See about it. It comes out on August 22nd. Next nugget. Saints Row's third and presumably final DLC called A Song of Ice and Dust is dropping on August the 8th, which will be an expansion of the base game's LARPing missions. The update will also include a number of quality of life updates. The upcoming PlayStation earbuds have not been dated, but we now know that they will include active noise cancellation and a USB transceiver to plug into your PS5 to support lossless audio. They will also feature Bluetooth that can, of course, connect to PS5, PC, and the upcoming Project Q. So I don't know. I don't know about earbuds for gaming, but anyway.
Yeah, I'm curious. I mean, they would be great for when I'm sim racing, but
True.
I don't know. I mean, the price point I think is gonna
Yeah.
tell it. 'Cause if they get that right and they're decent quality, it'll be the best selling. It'll outsell the Q.
Yeah.
It'll outsell the Edge. Like
Yeah.
that'll be interesting.
It could be cool. I'll see. I'll see about it. I already have 2 headsets, so I feel like I don't need it, but we'll see. Also, Cult of the Lambs expansion has been delayed on PS4 and PS5 to sometime later this year. Hardcore action RPG Wo Long Fallen Dynasty has revealed 5 months worth of paid DLC and free updates, with 2 expansions dropping in September and December, respectively. Phantom Blade Zero developer S-Game stated during the recent China Joy convention that they are planning a 30-minute demo for the game sometime next year. IO Interactive is adding the first new elusive target to Hitman World of Assassination in over 2 years, quote unquote, soon. And I didn't realize that it had been this long.
Yeah. There's like they've added the new board at the end of last year, I think. And they have this mode that's like the most difficult Hitman mode
Oh, yeah.
ever. It's like a hardcore mode, yeah.
Mhm.
And like it's really cool. Like I've watched some people play through it and the RNG on it is so random that like it's almost impossible to do.
Yeah.
But it's very, very cool. And I love that that's a thing they've added in. Like, I don't know. They're doing a great job with the game. And at some point, though, at some point, you think they'll stop and move on fully to James Bond, but I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
know. I don't know how that's going to work. Like, At what point do you stop updating this game and work on the next one? Like, you would assume after James Bond, they're gonna go back to Hitman.
Right, right. I think they'll leave, like, 10 people behind just to make sure it works and then have everyone else on James Bond, probably, something like that. Next nugget, Gran Turismo 7 will get its next free update on August the 7th, and will add 4 new cars to the game, as well as the usual escape and cafe menus. The new cars include a Toyota GR Corolla Morizo edition, I guess, the Maserati MC20, the Chevrolet Corvette, the Toyota Hayase. I have no idea how you say it. Do you know?
No,
Okay. And
but I'm
finally,
confused. That's 5 cars, not 4.
I know you're right. Because it is 5 cars. Thank you. This is some late breaking news today. They're also adding a 5th car. It's the Nissan GTR, as seen in the upcoming film Gran Turismo. So they're adding the movie car in there as well.
I actually, before I bought my car, I looked at buying one of those GR Corolla Morizos.
Uh-huh.
It's really cool. Like, they're like it's like a charcoal color, and like it's manual, but it's like, I don't know, man. You could drive it like a rally car almost. Like, it's really really cool.
That's the
But
last thing you need.
yeah, but they only made like, I forget how many they made. They made like 2,000. So I was like,
Oh, you should
I'm
have
not
bought
gonna
it.
try. Like, fucking, we have to. How lucky do I have to be to get this? Like, it just happens to. It was too much effort.
Whose dick do I
Um,
gotta suck to get the Corolla
yeah.
Morizo?
I should have asked that
Yeah.
to the dealer. The Toyota High C, I've heard of this, but I can't remember what it is.
You can Google
Whatever.
it. But
I think it's a van.
oh, that's
It's a
hilarious.
van.
That's
It's a
hilarious.
van.
Is it a delivery van?
It's a snub nose van.
Yeah,
Yeah, I call it a delivery van.
like a lawn care van thing?
This needs to be one of the weekly races immediately.
This sounds even better. This is getting better and better. I wonder which Corvette they're putting in. Anyway, next nugget. Peacock's Twisted Metal series has both met and exceeded expectations since its debut last week, believe it or not. The first season of the show currently sits at a 65% Rotten Tomatoes critical score, which is a victory in some people's eyes, but a whopping 91% audience score. Despite that, there's been no word on if the show will be renewed for a second season. I'm sure that has something to do with the ongoing strike, SAG-AFTRA strike, but apparently people are enjoying it. So,
Have you watched it yet?
no, I'm going to check it out when I have to get Peacock for Premier League shit.
Oh, I just I watched a clip. I guess it was like a promotional clip online or something like that. And
Yeah.
the acting, who's the lead actor again? Tony Blair or something like that?
That's the former prime minister of
Oh.
United Kingdom. It's Anthony Mackie.
Yeah, okay. See, Tony Anthony, I got that part right. Yeah, it just seemed like forced to me. It just seemed.
All of
I'd
Mackie
also.
stuff seems forced to me. I have a real problem with him as an
Okay.
actor. I'm not gonna lie.
Maybe that's what it is. Okay, because like,
Yeah.
I mean, I had just watched Oppenheimer 2, where like, professionals were actually doing it, so maybe that's part of the problem. But like, I was
Sure.
watching him, and I'm like, this isn't good. And then
Yeah.
Sweet Tooth was. See, Sweet Tooth was fucking lunatic. Like, just
Mhm.
the dialogue. Oh my god! Like,
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I
It's
don't
I don't know.
I don't know if I can do it. I don't generally speaking, I don't like to laugh anyway. So
That's
like,
true.
I don't want a show that's gonna try to make me laugh.
Mhm.
Anyway,
When you were born frowning.
I was. Yeah. A little known fact. Also, the Resident Evil 2 remake has become the best-selling game in the entire franchise history, having crossed 12.6 million copies sold.
Damn, I would have never guessed that.
Right. The official Call of Duty Twitter account revealed that Activision plans to reveal Modern Warfare 3 next week. So, or this week if you're listening now. So, of course, we pretty much already know what the game is. It's Modern Warfare 2 with more shit. Also, Dream's inclusion in the PlayStation Plus service has already seen 100,000 new players try the game, which is kind of neat.
So it's a fair question, right? Are they going to bring back support? Is that a fair question to ask at this point?
I don't know. It depends on if they have concurrent players or if it's like, 100,000 people played it for an hour and then didn't come back. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but this train game looks like a lot of fun.
I've got it downloaded. I am going to check it out at some point here soon, but I think it's done. I think they're just kind of like, I think in a weird, totally PlayStation sort of way, this is their way of honoring this game and saying like, okay, it's over now. Like this seems like the type of shit that PlayStation does. Like
Like they made it commit Hakuru.
yeah, exactly. Like it's like it's like it's just like they that's I can't get over. Yes, it's just like that. they like are gonna kill it, but they're like, all right, you can have one more minute. You can. What you got any last? You got any final words? Like this is what this moment
Yeah.
is. You know.
Getty followers train game.
So anyway, all right. Reliable leaker Bill Coon says that Bethesda will announce and perhaps shadow drop a Quake 2 remaster for PS4 and PS5 during the upcoming QuakeCon event. Two Point Campus is getting a new medical school DLC on August 17th for PS4 and PS5.
Yeah, where's War Hospital?
So that's funny you say that because I saw a tweet of theirs today, or a zeet or whatever the fuck you call it now, and
Is Zeet's what your wife does during sex?
So originally they had said that it was coming out August 31st, but the tweet today just said, or zeet or post or whatever the fuck he's calling it, said later this year. So I guess August
Really
30th.
disappointing.
Yeah, I know. I guess August 31st isn't happening anymore. We'll see. Also, fighting game Guilty Gear Strive has crossed 2.5 million players since launch in 2021. Website Gaming Nexus, the wonderful Gaming Nexus, reported that arcade sports game Wildcard Football, there it is, Travis, is releasing October the 10th for $39.99 on PS4 and PS5. Former Xbox exclusive sci-fi mystery adventure Somerville is heading to PS4 and PS5 on August 31st. It's replacing the void left by War Hospital.
Oh, thanks, yeah.
Website PlayStation Lifestyle reported that What the Golf is coming to PlayStation later this year, according to developer Triband.
Triband and Tobago. That's really stupid.
I can't remember how you said it. I think it's Kena? Kana,
right? Kana Bridge of Spirits?
I can't remember. We would go back and forth about this all the time on the show. That Kana, I think it's Kana. Kana Bridge of Spirits developer Ember Lab revealed in a new interview with the games industry that the game became profitable in just 1 month on the market after launching exclusively on PS4 and PS5. Good for those guys. Bloodborne was one of July's most played games on PS4 and PS5, according to True Trophies.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's an 8-year-old game, Travis, with more players than titles like Exoprimal, which just came out, Dead Island 2, Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster Collection, Dead Space Remake, and Crash Team Rumble. So people really still loving the Bloodborne.
People like Bourne games.
They do. Yeah, they do.
And it's all started with Jason Bourne, and then it spread out.
Jason Bourne.
And I listen. Dead Space to me, dude. I just think maybe people don't like having their shit scared out of them.
Yeah, that too, 100%. Also, website PlayStation Universe reported that the following games received update patches this week: Dead by Daylight, FIFA 23, Saints Row, Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed, Aliens Dark Descent, The Lord of the Rings Gollum, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart on PC, Battlefield 2042, Minecraft Legends, Gran Turismo 7, Rainbow Six Siege, and Diablo 4. So if you've been waiting for some fixes or new content, check those out. Also, Starbreeze has revealed that Payday 3 will launch with 8 unique heists on September the 21st. A new rumor popped up this week claiming that Netflix has a Dark Souls anime in the works, speaking of Souls games. Another rumor says that Assassin's Creed codename Red will feature an African samurai protagonist, which is interesting. Speaking of, Assassin's Creed Mirage will take players between 20 and 30 hours to complete, according to Ubisoft. So about half or more of what it's been taking to do these open world Assassin's Creed games. So that's great news.
I feel like that 20 hours is the mark I'd get bored. So that sounds about right.
Yeah. I've said before, like 15 to 20 hours for a game is really the sweet spot. Like, no, should be no more than 20. But what do I know? I'm also about to play Starfield in a month. So anyway, upcoming hardcore action RPG Lords of the Fallen will offer a 60 frames per second mode on PS5 when it launches in October. Square Enix is preparing to launch a new app on the PlayStation Store called Square Enix Digital Content Viewer, which is dedicated to showing players all of the DLC and add-on content for their games, which is very interesting. There's no other app like that I'm aware of. So, of course, they're doing it. Also, Hideo Kojima said that he now wants to make a game inspired by the John Wick-esque film Sisu, or Sisu, however you say that, after he recently saw the movie.
Perfect.
Yep. EA CEO Andrew Wilson stated during a recent earnings call that the next Battlefield game will be a, quote, reimagination of a truly connected universe, end quote.
I don't know what that means.
I don't either. It sounds to me like Call of Duty or
Maybe a truly
Destiny.
connected universe.
Yeah.
So are they gonna take all of this stuff that they have out of, what do they do now? Out of the portal?
Yeah, that stuff.
Like, yeah, and you can just play it in any way, like, you wanna wear a Nazi helmet and shoot a Russian grenade, go for it.
Right.
It's "connected then," quote, unquote.
There you go. Next nugget. Newly formed developer Mountaintop Studios, which is comprised of former Respawn, Bungie, Naughty Dog, Blizzard, Epic, and Riot veterans, released the first teaser trailer this week for its anime-inspired PvP first-person shooter, and it's getting a close playtest on PC at the end of this month. And I gotta say, it looks pretty cool, just based on what we've seen so far. So, got my eye on that one. Ubisoft's free-to-play first-person shooter XDefiant has been submitted to platform holders for certification and is still on track for a release this summer. Mark Rubin, the game's executive producer, said that the team used the recent beta test truly as test environments and not marketing moments like other big games on the market, which is why there has been an extended delay from the beta to release.
Shots fired.
Yeah, it's interesting that he would say it like that. But I'm actually, I told you guys I was encouraged by the changes from the alpha to the beta. We played the alpha and didn't and hated it pretty much. The beta was way better, way better. So I think I'm gonna maybe check this out when it releases. If it's hitting certification, we're probably it could be out this month, potentially September at the latest. Also, website Gamatsu reported that Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, will launch for PS4 and PS5 on September the 1st. Voxel style shooter Earth Defense Force World Brothers 2 was announced for PS4 and PS5, but no release date was given. Side-scrolling action adventure ninja game Cage Shadow of the Ninja was announced for PS4 and PS5. It's scheduled to release in the spring. Patapon spiritual successor Rataton has hit its console version stretch goal, meaning that the game will come to PS4 and PS5 on its release. Turn-based RPG Virgo versus the Zodiac will come to PS4 and PS5 on August the 23rd. Narrative adventure game Inescapable No Rules, No Rescue will launch for PS4 and PS5 on October the 19th. Turn-based strategy RPG Lost Eidolons will come to PS5 on August 24th. Arc System Works announced fighting game sequel Under Night in Birth 2, Solis. No idea. For PS4 and PS5, it will launch in early 2024. The final content update for martial arts fighting game Sifu, called Arenas, will release on September the 7th for PS4 and PS5, featuring 6 arenas, 75 challenges, and new modifiers and cheats. I'm going to get that game at some point. I've been waiting for it to come to PlayStation Plus, to be quite honest.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, Travis Gamatsu reported that publisher Nexon has delayed its cross-platform open beta test for free-to-play third-person co-op action RPG The First Descendant from the week of August 22nd to the week of September the 19th. It will be available on both PS4 and PS5, and that game looks dope. It's running Unreal Engine 5.2, the latest Unreal Engine, and it looks sick. Anyway, that's all for the news this week, and I'll turn it over to Travis now for this week's new games.
The 31st, we got F1 Manager 2023, Super Death Game Show VR on VR2, which sounds awesome. Vinba. On the 2nd, we have The Helper and Ellipse. On the 3rd, we have Adore, Arcade Archives, Baraduke 2, Jumbo Airport Story, Oceanhorn 2, Knights of the Lost Realm, Tropical Resort Story. I don't know what these story games are.
Right.
On the 4th, we have Sklash and VR Skater Boy. That's all.
VR Skater Boy. No, that's good. Yeah, VR Skater apparently is like $35. People seem to be enjoying it on the Twitter or the X or whatever. God, I can't get over that, man. Sklash, Travis, I think is kind of up our alley. It's actually not out. I just double checked. I don't think it made the release date.
Oh, great.
Yeah, that's really cool. But it's a multiplayer fighting game, 1v1 fighting game, but you're samurai and it's all one-hit kills.
Sounds awesome.
Yep. So, it looks cool. You should look up a trailer for that. Are you gonna do F1 Manager this year?
Not until it's on sale. I'm not paying full price for it.
You
It
tried it last
was
year and got fucked on that, didn't you?
yeah, it wasn't great, and then it was just buggy, and but, like, it was cool because I mean, I think it needs to exist, so I'm cool with it. You know, if Football Manager's a thing, this should be a thing.
Mhm.
If it's on sale, I might try it again. I'm gonna see what it kinda reviews at. I'm sure it'll be mid again. I'm gonna go with a 7.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there was just it had some game-breaking bugs last year that they didn't fix, and it was
Mhm.
like they'd already moved on to next year, so, we'll
Mhm.
see.
Sure, sure. Alright, so that's all for the new games this week, and, we're gonna start to wrap the show up here like we always do by discussing what we've been playing and anything that we're looking forward to. What's on your mind?
Whipped out Super Mega Baseball, hit some fucking dingers.
Nice. Nice. Nice.
I think I won oh, yeah, that was we were playing, I wanted to finish my season, I won the championship, I was down, and I hit a grand slam with Jim Edmonds
Did you?
to go up by 2, and then I hit another home run with, either mashed taters or hammer long ballo, don't remember which one, and then
I forget about those names, it kills
it
me.
was great, so I won the title, and then, the off season, I just added in what I needed to, and I ended up signing Hank Aaron because, like, I mean, why not? I have the money.
Sure.
So, but yeah, just like everybody on my team has at least 80 power, except for like who doesn't? Like my third baseman, like even my catcher, like everybody I signed. I'm just trying to hit dingers. So
I love it.
the only I signed Ozzie Smith because I had the money, so I was like, why not sign two like really really good guys? But yeah, like my catcher is like so he was a black guy named Pedro Nixon, and his power is like an 89, but his contact's really low. And then the last update, now he's white, but his picture's still black. So I don't know what happened there. And then yeah, dude, it's just great. I mean, I'm just and my pictures are none of my pictures are real, but they have these wild ass names. It's a great time.
I love it.
Played Battlefield with Jacob, and we had a great time riding around with
Oh, you
who
did?
were we with? Who were we with in
Oh,
the
we did.
cart? I
Oh,
forgot the
yeah,
guy's name.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Evan. Yeah,
Kevin?
Evan.
Oh, Evan,
Evan.
Evan, yeah, Evan, Evan.
Yeah, I spawned on Jacob because I never like walking
Never,
from
yeah,
the
never.
start. So I'll
Yeah,
wait.
if you
I'll
think
wait.
by the way, if you think I haven't noticed that you let me run halfway across the map and then you spawn in on me, I fucking see you.
So it's too much for me to hold the stick.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I spawned in on the car, and it's this guy Evan, and he's fucking like Michael Schumacher, dude. He's
Mhm.
like weaving it, like not hitting things,
It
but
was
he's like
killing me.
almost great time. So we rode in that thing probably what I don't know half the game,
My video clip was 7 minutes.
7 minutes long of a
In the ca
20-minute match.
in one car on Battlefield for 7 minutes is a miracle. It's, like, unheard of.
Right. But yeah, but that's the thing. We were in the car with the gun on top. We weren't in a tank.
No.
And anyway, I died like 3 times, by the way. I got sniped 3 times
Yeah,
out of the
you did.
passenger seat.
Yeah, you did.
Fucking ridiculous. But it was a blast. I mean, it was a blast. Like we were both shooting out of the side of the car. You
Mhm.
had you
Had
had
a
the
crossbow.
fucking crossbow. Jacob had the MG.
Yeah,
I had my assault rifle. And then Evan just running people over.
yeah.
Major shout out to Evan. It was a blast.
Yeah, I can't wait to post that clip footage.
I played F1 a bit. I got like I don't even know how many races I did. I don't know. I did a bunch of races. It's fine. I'm 3/4 of the way through season 2. I finally got my car to being like the best, you know what I mean? Like number 1 on the development. Took me a year and almost 2 years to finally get there. Like it drives so much better. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I can take turns at full speed that I couldn't before.
Hmm,
It doesn't spin out. Like it seems like my setup actually matters because before it didn't. So it's like
interesting.
it's pretty cool. You can actually feel the difference in the game.
Hmm,
And I had some pretty cool like we had a race at a Silverstone, which is in Great Britain, the British Grand Prix. All the practice is in dry weather. We get to qualifying, piss pouring rain. Get to the race, it's raining so hard. I have to use wets, and I can't see. You can't see.
why does that keep
Just
happening to you?
I don't know. So like I'm driving, and I looked at the weather forecast. It's supposed to clear up by the end of the race. So I'm driving, and it's like I'm thinking in my head. that I have to make a pit stop, but I don't. If you're on wets, you don't have to make a pit stop. So I pit like with 4 laps to go because my engineer came on the radio and was like, "You need to switch to inters because the track's dry enough. You're losing time on the wets." And I was like, "Oh, everybody's gonna pit," because I was in the lead. So like
Right.
a smart person would just see what they're doing and then react the next lap. Not me. I'll just pit. They're all gonna come. None of them came.
Jesus.
So I pit and come out, and I'm in like ninth or 10th place, and I have like 5 laps, 4 or 5 laps to try to catch everybody. And the funny part was like, I guess the computer decided that it was too far in the race to pit, and none of them pit. So I had switched to the correct tire, which was also brand new. So I'm going like 5, 8 seconds a lap faster than everybody. So
Of
I
course.
pass, I pass, I pass for the lead on the last lap. Like, I mean, I was just fucking rolling. Like, it was great. It was fun.
It's awesome.
So yes, you gotta like the strategy on the game. You have to pay attention to it because the engineer sometimes, man, he'll just tell you some shit and it's not.
Right.
I should have just stayed out. It'd have been fine. But instead I pitted. I made it extremely hard. Like,
Hmm.
if I would have made one mistake, it would, but it's funny. But I think that's all I did.
Yeah, we played some Battlefield, like you mentioned. Had a fun week on Battlefield this week. Had Evan, of course, had that escapade there. I had one game where I killed a lot of people with a crossbow. That was a ton of fun. So yeah, I had a fun week of Battlefield this week. But I've also been playing Marvel's Avengers on PS5. Was before I started reviewing the game I'm currently reviewing. I was kind of just in a spell looking for some stuff to play, and we landed on Avengers, Jacob and I forgot how good that game is. It's so much fun. The gameplay's great. The graphics are great on PS5. Performance is good, and just fun to play. And from what I remember, the single player is good too. And so, yeah, they've added some new characters since I played last. I never messed around with the Spider-Man character that they added to the PlayStation version of the game. So there's that. And then there is Winter Soldier now, who's cool. He's got like an assault rifle, and then someone else I've been messing around with. Who was it? Forget. Maybe it's just those two. But yeah, it's fun. So we've been playing that. I'm working actually towards the platinum trophy. It's pretty attainable, I think. So I'm trying to get that eventually. But the last thing I've been playing, I cannot discuss, but we'll be able to this time next week. So stay tuned for that. Playing a redacted game, if you will, for review, and then I'll have another one forthcoming after that. I've got a big month of reviews. To be quite honest, got some heavy hitters on the way. Hopefully, if all thing plays out like it should, so it should be a fun month. But anyway, that's all for Travis. It's all for me. It's all for the show. We'll get out of here now. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe to get a new episode delivered to you every Monday on your podcast service. And please don't forget to also like and subscribe, or not subscribe, rate and review, I should say. Don't forget to rate and review. That helps us out quite a bit with the algorithms and all that good stuff. Of course, sharing us with a friend or a loved one always helps as well. And finally, please find us on social media and chat some PlayStation with us: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. We also have a website. It's called the DualSense Podcast.wordpress.com. We would love to hear from you. We'll get out of here now. You guys take care. Have a great week, and we'll talk at you next time. Bye bye.